Hey everybody, it's Eric here with the Outdoor Retailer Snow Show 2022, and we've got one last product to talk about before I leave the show floor, and this is from Butler Technologies and ACI Materials. I'm here with Marshall Tibbetts, and Marshall, can you tell me a little bit about this heat technology that you have?
Sure. So Eric, as we talked about, you're familiar with a lot of different types of heater technology, wires, PTC, threads, things like that. So we have something new. So ACI Materials, we are a materials company. We do printed electronics, aerospace coatings, things like that. So we came up with a stretchable conductor that could be utilized for heated materials. So we have a stretchable conductor on the outside here that brings the current to this resistive trace. And as you can see, since it's printed on TPU, thermoplastic urethane, which is what's in a lot of seam tape already, you've already had this in your jackets, you're familiar with it, it's touched your skin. You can have a heater that actually stretches and moves with your body. So I could have this inside this shirt here, etc., whatever you think. It could be in beanies, socks, pants, compression shorts, you name it. So you can see here, this is a pattern that shows what it actually looks like, so you can see this resistive trace. It can have a cover lay over it like we have here. If you want to, you can feel that.
Ooh, that's nice and warm. Yes.
Yeah, so we can go temperatures typically around 120 F, 50 C. Even higher to like 140 F, like around 60 C.
So you can really dial in the temperature as much as but that's based on the manufacturer that you'd be selling to, OEM, right?
Absolutely,
Is that something that you would
absolutely.
let them spec out?
It's all tunable, so if you want it to be, warm for a longer period of time, 4 or 8 hours, whatever, you can have it be, in the 120 range or around that. Also depends on the battery pack, but if you want to bring it up really hot, that's possible too. And you can tune different settings.
So then you work with the mills then to apply this, or do you after the cut and sew? Where does this fit in the production process?
So what we do is we make the inks and pastes that you see right here. We make the silver conductor and we make the resistive trace, which is a combination of carbon and silver. That goes to Butler Technologies. They screen print it onto this thermoplastic urethane, and it can be covered with one of our insulators or another layer of thermoplastic urethane. Then, since that's a bilayer material, that's heat pressed onto clothing or leather or whatever it may be. So really easy to apply. And then of course it's connected. We have larger connectors here, but very small discrete connector to a small battery, depending on your application. We can even run off of like 3-volt batteries for gloves or a beanie for like coin cell type stuff.
Oh, really?
So yeah, and it's very comfortable. You don't even know it's there.
So it basically makes that fabric a 3-ply.
Yeah, essentially. Okay. So this is pretty much like you'd have on a seam tape. So if this was waterproof or water resistant, this would be a seam tape on the inside. That's what this material is here. So stretchable, comfortable, already in use, already been against your skin.
Cool. And so you can dial in the temperature. It's printable, so for a manufacturer, they can be really creative as to how they want to apply it.
Very creative, yep, exactly. So Butler Technologies, we work with them on the designs. So for different jackets, different applications, totally different designs. So this is, this size heater. You can have a much smaller heater. For gloves, you can have traces run out on each individual finger. For socks, it can be, on the top of the foot, goes out to the toes, things like that.
So would you provide guidance to the manufacturer as to like what you think are the best ways to deal with to do the printing and that
Absolutely.
Kind of thing?
So that's why we've partnered with Butler on this. So we make the inks and pastes. They have a lot of design experience, so they can help walk you through from prototype to production. So they can say, you can talk about where you want it, what application, how hot you want it. They could walk you through that whole process, provide prototypes. You can give them feedback. It's an iterative process, and awesome. You can end up with exactly what you want. Very functional, very useful.
Sounds like a really neat way to integrate, I say neat, but it sounds like a really cool way to integrate the heat technology into clothing. Up until now, from my understanding, is most of this stuff's been like a membrane that you would sew in.
Yeah, so PTC heaters are on Mylar, and that's, kind of rigid, it doesn't stretch. There's threads, which can be sewn in. There are wires, which you can feel. And there's advantages, for chairs and things like that. But when you're talking about something like this, where feel really means a lot, you want to have it on a lightweight garment that you can wear around, have it versatile. So instead of putting on extra layers, you can just add heat, especially for healing. Yeah. Like if you have a lower back injury, as you said you do. My back has issues, my lower back. I was snowboarding a couple weeks ago. Having heat on your back huge. Makes all the difference. Allows you to function, allows you to perform better, allows you to not have that injury you might have had if your muscles were cold. So,
totally agree on that one. For me, heat's important. I wouldn't be able to make it without it. So
exactly.
Cool. All right. Any other questions that I might have? Let's see. Manufacturers that you're working with right now, are there any?
There's some OEMs we're working with, but I can't say here necessarily.
Okay.
But if anybody's interested, come talk to us, talk to Butler Technologies, and we'll get you started. This is brand new technology, so it's for companies that are very interested in showcasing this in next year's product, differentiating between what they had last year and competitors. Now's the time to come talk to us. As you can imagine, this is comfortable, adds a lot of value. So,
thanks for your time, Marshall.
One more thing.
Yes.
You wouldn't believe it, but the same technology is also used in biosensors. So see this shirt right back here?
Yeah.
This is on the outside for display purposes.
Mm-hmm.
This can be on the inside of your garment, and it can give you all the biofeedback you need.
And then you can plug that into whatever telemetry, so if you needed to share that with somebody else.
Exactly. So for athletes trying to understand what's going on when they're performing, for elderly people that need constant feedback on what's happening with them, very important.
Well, I've known about this type of technology being applied for the military people.
Yep.
But not using your stuff. It was using other ways of getting the information around. But
there's, I can only say so much about some things like that.
That's good enough.
You can imagine, for somebody who's elderly having issues or wanting to know if there's an oncoming heart attack, something like that.
It's actually a really good idea for a product line.
Absolutely.
If you want to develop a product line for elderly people that you want to do the monitoring for.
Personally, this means a lot to me. My grandmother fell, and had something like this, it would have made it a lot easier on her. So,
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, she made it. She was fine, but she broke her arm and crawled to a phone. She had that fallen I can't get up thing hanging around a doorknob. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, we would have got to her a lot faster if she had this. So.
My father had a Bell's. He had a subdural hematoma and paralyzed half his body, and he was alone for 48 hours before. So really bad. Yeah. Well, that's cool. So you've got the remote sensing. So basically, it's the same tech, but instead of using the resistance in it to provide heat, you're just using the conductivity of it to send messages.
Absolutely, and making it comfortable, stretchable. You don't even know it's there. But it's monitoring you, it's helping out, it's taking care of you. So,
well, cool. Thanks for that little nugget. That's a little extra piece. Thank you for your time, Marshall.
Thank you very much, Eric. Have a great day.
You too.